So I had this dream. I'm not one that like remembers dreams, but this one I did. And it was very telling in a way. So I'm just sharing it. Take it for what it's worth, whatever that is. But a lot of people have said, that Fauci belongs in jail. Different people, like, they should be in jail. Why are they walking around? Why aren't they being prosecuted? So it's an unjust world. God said it was unjust. God said don't attach to it. It didn't just mean don't attach to it material-wise. It meant don't attach to it doing the right thing. God wanted you to look forward to the new earth, the new heaven and new earth. And that will take that what will happen to many of these people is there will be this event. And this event will remove all of them. That's what the dream showed. And the dream showed that because they've been so attached to the earth. So that's why I bring up how God said often, don't attach to the world. He even says, don't love the world. But globalists and others are so attached to it that they'll get to have it, but not in an everlasting life. They will disintegrate into it. They will just be no more. As I said, it was my dream. Take it for what it's worth. But basically, that since they became so attached to the earth, they will die with the earth. There's no reason for them to be a part of the new heaven and new earth because they were too attached to the old. And the old is full of heartless people. There's a reason that God said he will judge by the heart. So if you've lived your whole life being heartless, no matter how much you lie to yourself and say, oh, I gave to charity and I gave, God will know if you have a heart. He doesn't even need to judge. It's like, I don't know you. You didn't have a heart. You went down a path that, everybody makes mistakes, but you never wanted to get on the right path. You wanted to care more about loving the earth. Globalists, that's what globalists are all about, are loving the earth, the environmentalists. You wanted to love the earth so much and attach so much to this world that you became heartless, and most of them are heartless. So you can't have something good until that is removed. And there's no man here that can take care of all that because it's an unjust world. Maybe at times you will see the Supreme Court do the right thing or some courts do the right, but ultimately, God Almighty is who's in charge, no matter who the president is. When the presidents, no matter who they are, or the kings of the world get too full of themselves, God brings them down. He humbles them, sometimes humbles them to destruction. To where they're no longer in their role. I'm not saying that'll happen with Trump. I'm just saying that God will humble all the kings. He raises them up. He will bring them down. And if they follow him, and some start to follow him, and then they go off track. And then God has to do a correction to bring them back to some humility. Humility is hard for all of us, but God does humility corrections. So, and I say this because, for a couple of reasons why this dream stood out to me, is because globalists are all about this climate change stuff, okay? And I believe it's because they know there will be an event. They likely know there's a God, it's just not the God they wanted to follow. So they've been trying to do everything they can to live their same selfish, heartless lives, while at the same time wanting to take people that do believe in God into this AI slave system and And yet, the reason they're so afraid of the climate is because they know that ultimately it will remove all of them. So when Elon Musk talks about needing to go to Mars so much, that we need to be able to get out of here fast, so that if he says himself, because if something happens, a catastrophe, we can head to Mars. Realize he's talking about a certain group of people. And hopefully you're not one of those people. Those are the globalists. They know that God eventually comes and realigns the poles and tips the earth to where the people that have been up to no good for a long time are just not removed, but they just become, because they were so attached to the earth, they become part of the disintegration into the earth, and they are no more. Because there's no president, there's no man. They may be able to bring some good things. They may be able to, get rid of your taxes even. They may be able to put more money in your pocket. But to truly have a new earth, only God can do that. So even though I support Trump, I do, okay, I don't support the Elon Musk thing. People can make excuses to themselves that he suddenly decided to become a conservative 4 months before the election and not realize that Elon Musk has always been a globalist. Here he was, the man that warned everybody about AI, yet he's been one of the biggest people bringing it forward. Now, there's a ton of people in this country will say, yeah, but he wants to bring the safe AI version. Yeah, God doesn't support AI. I'm just saying, he doesn't. Because it is a very flawed system. Easily manipulated. Easily. So, the new earth has nothing to do with AI. But everything that Elon Musk is attached to is all things that are heartless. Robots, bringing robots so that you can have a connection to robots. Silicon Valley worships this AI stuff. It is their God. And they are trying to force it upon the rest of us while bringing it on the heels that, no, this is going to make everybody's life better. No, God, look to God. God is about making things better in a wholesome way, not a manufactured, artificial way. Becoming attached to robots is what globalists would do because they decided to live a life of being heartless. And ultimately, that's what everything will come down to, is the heart. That was the biggest thing in my dream, was about the heart. So there's a reason that these globalists on the right side and to the left are carrying on about we can't separate Trump and Musk. God doesn't support what Musk is doing. And Musk just wants to get out of here because Silicon Valley, many of the tech bros have been up to no good for a long time. I've said before, it's like a boys' club there, and that's fine, but very heartless. So no wonder they want to bring their heartless machines in to that we have to become attached to. Well, that's a world of sickness. And I believe many of them, because they're in the technology industry, they know something's coming. And they won't say the truth, but they know it. That there is an event coming. And that all of them will be no more. Because God's true new earth and what you should look forward to, which is what you've been running this race, as God said, running this race, doing your best not to give up your heart, not to fall into the globalist idea traps, but to look forward to God's new earth.